Hello and welcome to Strictly Between Us, a brand new video series from radiotimes.com in which we'll be waltzing into the world of Strictly Come Dancing. I'm Lauren, entertainment and factual writer at radiotimes.com.
I'm Huw, comedy and entertainment commissioning editor for Radio Times magazine.
And as the 2022 series progresses, we'll be breaking down all things ballroom, from the songs and dances we'll be watching on Saturday to which celebs could be lifting that glitter ball trophy. After BBC One officially kicked off Strictly 2022 last weekend with the first dances, this Saturday we'll see the famous Foxtrotters tackle their second dance of the competition, which means the public will be voting and we'll have to say goodbye to one unlucky celeb who will be salsaing into the sunset. With that in mind, Huw, who are you looking forward to seeing the most this week?
I'm going to start with your friend of mine, Will Mellor, who I think was, for me, the absolute standout in the first live show.
Hands down.
Hands down. He was really, really good. I mean, there were actually a lot of really good people in that, actually, really strong field, but I thought he was really, really good at the jive. And now he's got the salsa, he's sticking in Latin, and I reckon he must do well, right? I feel like he'll do well, unless there's some sort of catastrophic mistake, or he just has that kind of classic week two things going a little awry, starting well, going down a bit thing. But either way, he can move, right?
Oh, definitely. You saw those hips. They did not lie.
Who didn't?
on Saturday night. And I feel like it wasn't so good that there wasn't somewhere he could go from that.
That's true. You've got to have, he's got a good floor, but he's not reaching the ceiling just yet. He's got a way to go.
He reminded me of AJ Odudu last year, who also did a jive, and her jive, I just remember the whole public being like, oh my God, she's one to watch. And I could feel the same way about Will Mellor.
And he's really likeable as well, I think.
Oh, so likeable.
Yeah, and people love him, so I think he'll do well. The one thing to maybe watch out for him is I interviewed him for the magazine and he said he has dodgy knees.
Oh,
so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
But I mean, he did the jive, and that, if anything...
That's very hard on the knees,
yeah,
so fair play to him.
hard on the knees. And I mean, the next person I'm really looking forward to seeing is Helen Skelton, who really surprised me. I shouldn't have been surprised, because I know that she's had a bit of experience growing up.
Controversial. I mean, I think she said she tap danced a bit when she was a kid. Obviously, she did Strictly Christmas, I think, about 10 years ago. So she's got a little smattering here and there. And I feel like you can tell that a bit. But yeah, she's definitely, she's better than that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, her dance last week, I just felt like she had the posture, she had the elegance, she was hitting all the moves. And I think going into this week where she's doing Latin, right? I feel like we'll see her come out of her shell a bit more. I'm just hoping that she doesn't bottle it, because I mean, a few days ago, she said that before the live shows, she did escape rehearsals because she got so nervous. So as long as she can just gain a bit of confidence, then I think she's going to smash it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
And then our third person, it's more, I think she will do well over the course of the competition, Fleur East. As we saw on Saturday, she has so much energy and life in her dancing. It's just the technical stuff.
Yeah, I'm quite interested in Fleur, because going into it where everyone was like, oh, she's going to be amazing, and she was good, but I feel like so many people were good and a few people were unexpectedly good that actually she was slightly overshadowed in week one. And I think maybe she attacked that dance a little too much.
Yeah.
So having to slow down a bit for a waltz and kind of go into ballroom, I think could be quite good for her. Although equally, I'm kind of interested to see whether she can kind of, manage that, because that's a big way away from like Helen. She has a bit of experience of, certainly performing to music. So I'll be interested to see how that translates to, pure uncut ballroom.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell she's in her element on Saturday. It's just, I don't know where all that energy's going to go if she can't harness it into the waltz.
Yeah, she was really throwing herself into it, and you can't do that in the waltz. No. So, I'm intrigued, I think.
Yes, yeah. Very. Hopefully it doesn't go east. That was terrible. Next up, we want to chat about who we think could be in trouble this week, especially with the first elimination coming up. Who do you think may struggle?
Let's talk about the elephant in the ballroom. I think Tony Adams is a marked man. I do love Tony Adams, and I do think from what he said, I think he had done that dance better in rehearsal, but it was, not the easiest watch. I think it's a really, really difficult field this year as well. I think most years he would have been kind of, more middle of the pack, but this year it was noticeable the kind of the level of gap between him and some of the others. He's doing a Charleston this week, which could do better because it's, it's out of hold. He's not going to have a problem with, sticking his bum out or whatever. And the Charleston is, you know, you dance that kind of on your own in sync. But I don't know, traditionally, we were talking a bit about this before, footballers don't do that well on Strictly.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I mean...
Cricketers, really well.
Yeah, no, not too bad.
Dangoff.
Yeah, but not so much footballers, so I feel like he could be in trouble. I mean, what about you? What do you think?
See, his first dance was just so difficult to watch. And I felt so sad for him because he did seem genuinely gutted and did seem like he had done it better in rehearsals. However, I don't know, he's so gangly and tall, I don't know whether he'll be able to control his limbs enough for the Charleston.
That could be quite a good visual though.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to watch either way. But I think this could be the end of the road for Tony. And sticking in the Addams family, I'm also a bit worried about Kay.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed for her, I think, in the first week, because you could tell she was, like they said, it was like, you were great until you moved, which is an awful thing to hear on a dancing show. But it's true, she looked great in the kind of, you know, in the setup of week one, but it looked like she just wasn't confident. She looked like she was nervous, like she was really overthinking it. And I do wonder, like, maybe she's also doing a Charleston, which is funny, but maybe this will be better because she'll be, I don't know, kind of, it's a dance you can kind of throw yourself into. You're not kind of having to sort of stand there and be like, oh God, I look like an idiot. But maybe not, I don't know. It requires a lot of energy, you know.
That's the thing, and I feel like you have to commit to the character. There's a lot of acting, and I can see how a lot of people who aren't from that kind of entertainment field of acting and performing can find it all a bit cringe with Strictly. You need to bring the cheese, and I don't know if Kay can do that.
She's always been very serious and kind of like on Loose Women and stuff, so I feel like that was, you know, one of the things she was worried about, and I feel like you could see it a little.
Definitely. But if she can overcome that, then maybe her Charleston will be amazing.
Yeah, and so often in Strictly you have these complete reversals from week one and week two, and the people you think are going to be great aren't, and vice versa. So, I mean, with that in mind, we should probably talk about our controversial third person to watch.
Very controversial.
So, I think Hamza might be in some trouble. So, obviously he was great in week one, I think unexpectedly in some ways. In the launch show, I was watching him in the group dance, and I thought that guy can actually really move, and he was really good. I do just wonder, he's moved from, what was it, the first week he was doing a foxtrot?
Yes, foxtrot.
Yeah, and
elegant foxtrot.
He was so good, so light on his feet. With the jive, I'm just not sure whether he'll be able to translate to that. No,
and even in the little teaser video that Strictly post to reveal the dances and songs, it was a 2-second clip for him and his dance partner, but they weren't even in time for that.
Yeah, and they had a few takes on that, I imagine.
Yeah. So I'm a bit worried, especially because you've got to be light on your feet for the jive. And as we saw in week one, so many people, they can do the moves, but they don't have the bounce. So I am worried, especially because he seems like such a nice person. He could become a fan favourite.
He seems lovely, and like he's super strong, and he's super like in control of his body. You know, he's an ex-rugby player. He does Highland Games. He's in great shape. I just feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure if he's got the speed. Yeah, and unless Yuita massively slows herself down as well, which maybe wouldn't look great. I don't know, and we do see this, you know, it might seem crazy because he was like top of the leaderboard in week one, but remember last year Nina Wadia did really well in week one and then gone week two. It does happen, so yeah, in these early stages it's really, really down to the performance. You know, it's not like who's liked yet because the vote is so splintered. If you have a bad week, you can just go. It's
so important in these early stages. And on that note, we want to look ahead to the future of Strictly, what we want to see from the future performances and who we haven't seen enough of. What are you thinking on that front, Huw?
I'm really, really excited to see what Ellie Simmons does next. I thought she was so good in week one. I think her and Nikita are a great partnership. She's really athletic, she's really strong, she's got great rhythm. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see her, you know, I'm interested to see her do ballroom this week actually, because obviously we saw her do Latin. I'm interested to see how they do that. Yeah, so I want to see more from her, definitely. Yeah, and I just think Nikita has been so creative so far in week one. He really showed off Ellie's dancing capability, showed that she has promise. Now they're tackling a very different dance. I'm so interested to see how they do that, and then how they do dances down the line, like Pas Doble, if they get to that point. Yeah, definitely. And you know, we're approaching as well things like Movie Week, aren't we? Yes. So imagine they could do something really cool with that. Do something really cool. I would love to see Jade Adams more. I feel like in the first week, we can tell she's got the confidence and the energy and she's willing to go for it. I would just like to see how she tackles different kind of dances again. Is she doing the tango this week? Yeah, I think so. And it's really interesting because she's a comedian, so she's not as easily embarrassed as maybe some of the others. She's also a huge Strictly fan.
Yeah.
You know, she's a super fan, her and Richie this year. And I think she kind of knows what helps sell the dances. So even though she wasn't like completely in time in week 1, she was really throwing herself into it. And I feel like the tango's a bit more serious and maybe you can't make as much of a joke of it. So I'm interested to see how they pull that off. But she's so passionate about it. I think if anyone can do it, it's her.
And I think they're doing it to an Adele song. They're doing it to Rumour Has It. And so I think that will be a perfect fit for her.
Yeah, definitely.
And in terms of movie week, which will be next week, I just really want someone to do a Don't Worry Darling themed piece.
Yeah, I don't know who's Harry Styles in that scenario.
No,
but,
I've been looking through the list of celebrities to see who would fit.
You know, Nikita and Ellie would be pretty good for that.
Oh, they actually
He's got the floppy fringe.
Yes,
Yeah,
the Florence Pugh fringe. Oh, the Harry Styles fringe.
Well, I was thinking of him for Harry Styles, to be honest.
She would just need to put a piece on for the Florence Pugh.
That's true, that's true. No, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm trying to think what the big movies are. You could do someone as Thor, maybe.
Yes.
Things like that would be quite cool. I always really love movie week. I think it's so nice that you get a theme week so early. So almost everyone, except that one unlucky couple, get to have a go at dressing up in fun costumes. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And yeah, God knows what they could do. All sorts.
Yeah, all sorts. Well, I can't wait to see what Strictly 2022 brings. But we will be bringing all our latest takes and all the latest news here on this series. So go and check out on radiotimes.com all the latest news. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.